Welcome back. I will now be previewing all of Sunday's action of Week 7 in the NFL, starting with two AFC North rivals in the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Coming into this matchup, the Browns are sitting at 2-4, while the Ravens are sitting at 500 with a 3-3 record. Realistically, Baltimore should be at least 4-2, if not 5-1, but they've blown two huge leads to the Bills and the Dolphins, respectively, that they were not able to get the victory in those matchups. I am going to give the edge to Lamar Jackson, and that offense is just absolute stellar. They need, honestly, at least 30, 40 points if they want to try and get ahead of the game, more or less. I truly believe that the Ravens should get the victory. I know their defense has been suspect, but I believe they should get the victory over the Cleveland Browns. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, two NFC South teams, do battle. With no Baker, the Panthers obviously have to rely on their backup quarterback in order to take the reins until Baker is healthy again to come back into the lineup. I just believe that the Panthers season is pretty much doomed. They're 1-5 as of right now, and I can see them easily being 1-6 once the Buccaneers take care of business. The Atlanta Falcons are heading into Cincinnati. Both these teams are sitting at 3-3. If you had asked me at the start of the season that both these teams would have the identical records, I'd think you were crazy. I thought that Atlanta for sure would be in a rebuild, but they just seem to have something about them. There's just something about Marcus Mariota, I guess. Even though he hasn't been a starting quarterback since he left Tennessee, he seems to be doing something right with the Atlanta Falcons organization. They are now tied with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for first of the NFC South, while the Bengals are now tied with the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North, as both these teams are looking to get the fourth win of the season. And I truly believe that Joe Burrow and company should prevail and get the win over the Falcons. Jared Goff is heading into LA. No, I'm just kidding. He's heading into the Big D, as in Dallas, to take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The Lions are coming off a bye. They're sitting at 1-4, while the Cowboys got a crushing loss against the Eagles last Sunday. They are now sitting at 4-2. I do believe that even though Dak hasn't played since week 1, the Cowboys should prevail and get the victory and move on to get their 5th win of the season. The New York Giants and the Jacksonville Jaguars are heading into action against one another, and for the first time, Tom Coughlin is not involved with either organization. The New York Giants are sitting at 5-1. They are honestly a true contender, in my opinion, when it comes to the NFC threat. While the Jacksonville Jaguars, unfortunately, even though they got off to a great 2-1 start, have lost 3 straight and are now sitting at 2-4. I will give the edge to Daniel Jones and the New York Football Giants. I just believe they have a better team overall, and they should get their 6th win of the season. The Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. Two AFC South rivals due to clash, as both these teams are sitting at 3 wins apiece. The Colts obviously have 2 wins and a tie, while obviously the Titans only have 2 losses. They had a bye just last week. I will give the edge to the Titans in this matchup. I just believe that they are a team that it's basically now or never to try and prove to everyone that they are still an elite team and a competitive team in the AFC. The Green Bay Packers are heading into the nation's capital to take on the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are coming into this matchup sitting at 2-4, while the Packers, even though they got off to a great start at 3-1, have lost 2 straight games to both the New York teams. Coming into this Week 7 matchup, I will give Aaron Rodgers and company the win, and I do believe they should get a win over Carson Wentz and the Commanders to get back above 500 and hopefully start a new winning streak. The New York Jets are heading into Denver, and at the start of the season, if anyone had predicted this one, they would have said the Broncos 100%, but the Broncos have just been so inconsistent, and they don't have Russell Wilson starting this week. I believe it's Brett Rippon is the backup, going up against Zach Wilson and the New York Jets, who are absolutely on fire. They're now sitting at 4-2. I will give the edge to the Jets. I believe it's going to be another long season for the Broncos. It's just going to be a really tough year, I do believe. But yeah, I do believe the Jets should get the victory, and they should get their 5th win of the season. I never would have predicted this, but this is where we're at. Houston is heading into Las Vegas. Both these teams only have one win respectively for each team. I believe the Raiders should get the victory in this one. Houston is a team that's definitely on the rebuild after losing all your big players over the past 3 off seasons. I just believe it's just too tough, especially in that AFC South with the Titans and the Colts. I get one of those 2 teams, I guarantee will get the division. And for the Houston Texans, as I said previously, this is probably going to be a long year. But the Raiders should get their second win of the season, which should move them to 2-4. The Seattle Seahawks are heading into LA to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to be an interesting matchup to say the least. We have Geno Smith taking on Justin Herbert. I'm going to give the edge to the Chargers. Even though they started off 1-2, they have managed to get 3 straight wins. And the Seahawks, they're kind of in the thick of things when it comes to that NFC West with the 49ers and Rams and Cardinals. That's going to be a tough division, whoever comes out of that one. But I truly believe that the Los Angeles Chargers should get the win and get their 5th win of the year. The Kansas City Chiefs are heading into San Francisco in what is a rematch of Super Bowl 54, if I'm not mistaken, just from a few seasons ago, where the Chiefs ultimately got the huge victory over the 49ers. I surely believe now that the 49ers are on home turf, they're not just playing in another stadium, they should get the victory in this one, especially after the huge acquisition of Christian McCaffrey from the Panthers. He is active for today's game, so he should play a major factor in the 49ers win over the Chiefs. Sunday Night Football, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Steelers are sitting at 2-4, while the Miami Dolphins are sitting at 3-3. Should Tua be cleared to play, I truly believe the Dolphins will get the edge in this one. If he doesn't, they end up having a backup or their 3rd string. I could easily see the Steelers pulling off a huge upset. I honestly really could. So depending on who starts for the quarterback position, I'll give the edge to them. So if Tua starts, Miami wins. If he doesn't, I'll give the Steelers the edge. So that's the only thing. I can't really pick one team over the other, as it obviously depends on who your starting quarterback is. And while I'm at it, I might as well preview Monday's game as well with the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots. Chicago is coming into this matchup sitting at 2-4, while the Patriots are back at 500 with a 3-3 record. I'm going to give the edge to New England because when it comes to Bill Belichick and his mastermind genius, you really can't go wrong with him. Obviously, it's a rematch of Super Bowl, whatever it was, back in the 80s. But for the 85 Bears, it's definitely not going to be a repeat against the Patriots this time. As like I said, the Patriots should get a victory, and they should get their 4th win of the season. Until next time, take care.